Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture where we're going to be talking about number data type in Python. In our previous lecture, we've looked at different data types that we have in Python, but in this video, we're going to look at number in more details. And there are two main numbers type we will work with. The first one is an integer, which we spoke about, and integers are basically whole numbers. Then the next one we're going to explore is floating point numbers, which are numbers with a decimal place. Now you know that, let's explore the basic math with Python, and we also discuss how we can create variables and assign them values. So with that being said, I'm going to jump to my notebook now and let's start working with numbers together. Alright guys, so I'm in my notebook now, and in case you've not launched your notebook, all you have to do is just to open your Anaconda, and once you open your Anaconda, you're going to see something that shows Jupyter Notebook. Just click on the launch button, and once you click on this launch button, it should pop up a terminal that runs the command of Jupyter Notebook. And basically what this does is it just opens your Jupyter Notebook on your browser. Alright, so in case you've not watched the video on how to install Jupyter Notebook and the basic interface of Jupyter Notebook, I'm going to also link a video right here. You can check it out just to make sure that you are up and running with this course. All right, I'm just going to right click and I'm going to click on new notebook. All right, so for this new notebook, I'm going to leave it as default kernel right here. Select this and I'm going to name this to O1 dash numbers. All right, I think we're good to go right here. All right, so first thing first is we're going to be talking about numbers. I'm going to do escape M, just take it to markdown and do shift enter. All right, you can also come here and click on run. It's going to do the same thing. All right, but this is currently a markdown cell, as you can see, as it's highlighted right here, and this place is a code cell. Right, so for you to turn it from a code cell to a markdown cell, you can just do escape, which will deselect the cell, and you're going to click M, turn it to a markdown cell. All right, and you can see here it changes to markdown, or you can just do it right here. Just come here and change it to code. All right, so very good. So now we're going to be talking about two major types of numbers. The first one, as I mentioned earlier, is the integer, and the second one is the floating point number. So in Python, numbers can come in various types, also known as numerical literals, right? But in this course, we're going to majorly focus on the integer and floating point numbers. So first, let's look at some basic arithmetic operators that we have in Python. And don't forget that if you want to have access to the course notebook, the link is going to be dropped in the description box below. So please do well to check out the GitHub repo in case you want to reference the notebook. All right. So first thing first, I'm going to talk about addition. And yeah, I can just say 1 plus 2, and it's going to give me my output. I can also say 2 minus 1, shift enter to run the cell. It's going to give me 1. And if you don't want to use shift enter also as shortcut, you can just come here and click on run just to run the cell. All right. So this subtraction, you can also go ahead to do multiplication. I can say 3 times 4, and it's going to give me the output, which is 12. I can also say, let's say 3 divided by 2. It's also going to give me the output 1.5. So in Python, there's also something that is called floor division. What floor division does is it goes ahead to give you the output of the number that you're trying to divide, but it removes the decimal place. So for example, if I say 7, then to do floor division, I have to use double slash, then I'll say 4. So if I do this, it's going to give me 1 because I can only see 1 4 in 7, and the remainder is going to be 3. So it's going to give me 1 because that's going to be the floor division. So there's also something that is called modulo, and what this does is it gives you the remainder. So the floor division just goes ahead to give you the floor division of that particular number you're trying to divide. But if I do modulus, I'm going to do 7, then I'm going to do this percentage sign, percentage 4. So what this means is I'm trying to say 7 modulo 4, and what this does is it's going to go ahead to do 7 divided by 4, and it's going to give me the remainder. So remember, the floor returned 1, but the division is going to return the remainder, which is going to be what? 3. Very good. So now that we already know about that, let's go ahead to look at more arithmetic operators that we have in Python. So I'm going to create more cell below. I'm just going to click on B just to create more cell below so we can have more space. And yeah, so let's do powers, right? So for example, if you want to do like 2 raised to the power 3, 2 raised to the power 2, which is 4, 2 raised to the power 3, which is 8, you can also do that in Python, right? So how do you do that? You do 2, then you use the asterisk symbol twice, and you put in the power that you want to do, right? So in this case, I'm doing 2 raised to the power 3, and if I run this cell, it's going to give me 8. All right. So now we can also do roots, like in case you're looking for square roots. Let's say we want to do square root of 4, we can say 4. I will say to the power, right, to the power of what? 0.5. So basically what this does is it do 4 raised to the power 1 over 2, which is the square root of 4, and it goes ahead to return what? 2. So one thing you should also take note of in numbers is you have to know the order of operations, right? So don't forget this is an integer, this 2.0 is a floating point number. So now let's go ahead to do order of operations in Python. So you can do 2, right? So if I say 2 plus 10 times 10 plus 3. So what Python is going to do is Python is going to follow the BODMAS operations, right? So we have brackets of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So first thing first is it's going to go ahead to do 10 times 10, right? And 10 times 10 is basically 100. Then we now have 2 plus 100 plus 3, which is going to give us 105, right? So that's something that is very, very important to take note of. It's not going to do 2 plus 10, which is 12, then 12 times 10, which is 120, then 120 times 3, which is 400 and something, right? It's not going to do that. It's going to basically do the multiplication first. So if I run this, you're going to see it's going to give us what? 1, 5. So that's something you should also take note of when you are working with numbers. So next thing is you can also use parentheses to basically specify the order of operations, right? And it's called parentheses here in Python. So people know it as brackets, right? But it's called parentheses, all right? So you can do 2 plus 10, right? In case you want to do 2 plus 10 first, then you can now do times. You can now do times 10 plus 3, right? So you can also do this. So what Python is going to do is Python is going to go ahead to do 2 plus 10 first, which is 12. Then it's now going to do times 10 plus 3, which is 13, right? So 12 times 13 is going to give us 156, all right? So if I run this, you can see we have 156 there. So basically, this is what you need to know about numbers in Python. So in our next lecture, we're going to dive deeper into numbers. We're going to look at how to use variables, how to assign them values, and I hope you understood the basic numbers that we have in Python. I'll see you in the next lecture. Bye bye.